Okay, I want you to consider something for a moment. It's a simple thought, but, well, it's pretty unsettling. Right now, in this very moment, you are not alone.
And I mean that literally. You're not alone inside your own body. You're not entirely one species.
Because if you look deep enough, hidden in the very code that makes you you,
You'll find the ghosts of extinct beings, ancient creatures that figured out the ultimate survival strategy, becoming a part of us.
All right, let's unpack that, because it's a wild idea. For the longest time, the story of where we came from was, well, kind of simple.
We all pictured it like that classic drawing, right? A straight line of evolution. With us, Homo sapiens, marching proudly at the end, all by ourselves. Turns out, modern genetics has completely blown that story to pieces. The real story is so much stranger and, frankly, way more interesting. See, when our ancestors walked out of Africa, the world wasn't empty. It was full of other kinds of humans. And we didn't just out-compete them, we connected with them, we mixed with them. In a way, we absorbed them right into our DNA.
so who are these other humans? Let's meet the two most famous ghosts living in our genome.
On one side, you've got the Neanderthals. You've heard of them. They were the tough, powerful survivors of Ice Age Europe. We know a lot about them. But on the other side, the Denisovans. These guys were a total mystery, an entire branch of humanity that was basically erased from history, only to be rediscovered because of a tiny piece of a finger bone found in a remote Siberian cave. It's incredible.
And get this, that history, those ancient encounters, they're not just some fossil in a museum. For many of us, it's a measurable part of who we are today. It's a living piece of code, still running inside your cells.
And this is the really crucial part. This ancient DNA isn't just sitting there doing nothing. No, it's active. Part of your immune system's ability to fight off germs, the way your skin tans or burns in the sun, even your risk for certain modern diseases. All of that can be traced back to these meetings tens of thousands of years ago.
And the Denisovans? Wow, they left behind what you could honestly call a superpower. People living in the Himalayas today can thrive at altitudes where the air is fatally thin for most of us. How? Well, it turns out many of them carry a specific Denisovan gene that completely changes how their bodies use oxygen. They are, in a very real sense, breathing with ancient lungs.
So, we have names for these two ghosts. We have their bones, their stories, but that's not where it ends. In fact, this is where the story takes a turn into the truly strange. Because it turns out there isn't just a second ghost in our genetic machine. There's a third. And this one is completely unknown to science.
While scientists were scanning human genomes, they kept finding these weird sequences. They were clearly ancient, clearly from another kind of human, but they didn't match Neanderthals and they didn't match Denisovans. It was a genetic signal from something else, a human species that our ancestors met and that has since vanished without a trace.
Just let that sink in for a second. You are a walking, talking archive for a lost branch of humanity. A species that has no name, no fossils we can point to, no story whatsoever, except for the echo it left behind inside of you.
So what does all this mean? It means we have to completely redraw the map of who we are. It forces us to rethink our entire identity as a species. From a purely biological standpoint, you're a hybrid. You're not the product of a single pure lineage. You're a fusion, a mashup of different survival strategies from different ancient worlds, all brought together in one person.
But why? Why did this happen? Well, it's pretty simple. Evolution couldn't care less about neat little categories or purity. It only rewards one thing: survival. By mixing with these other groups, our ancestors got a massive shortcut. They instantly grabbed a genetic toolkit that had been perfected over hundreds of thousands of years for new lands, new diseases, and new challenges. It was the ultimate survival hack. The humans who mixed survived. The ones who didn't, they vanished.
So when you tally it up, we inherited resilience from the Neanderthals, this incredible high-altitude adaptation from the Denisovans, and from this nameless ghost ancestor? Well, that's the big question mark, isn't it? It's one of the greatest mysteries left to solve, and the clues are written in our own blood.
All of this leads to a pretty profound conclusion. You aren't just one kind of human. You're so much more than that.
The next time you look in the mirror, you're not just seeing one person.
You're seeing multiple histories, multiple extinct worlds, all frozen in time and then brought back to life every time your body fights off an infection or deals with the sunlight or just takes a breath.
And that just leaves us with one final haunting thought. We've literally just started to read this ancient story hidden inside of us. We found 3 ghosts so far. How many more are still in there, just waiting to be discovered?